Hi everyone, this is Dango from Rocky Valley server. So in this video, I'm going to do a brief summary for Apex Arenas of Season 1, and then we are going to look forward and see what's coming in Ancient Call and Apex Arena Season 2. So briefly, this weekend will be the last weekend for Apex Arena Season 1. Most of the players like me, myself, are already, our journey for like Apex Arena Season 1 has been ended. And basically, there are only 4 players. Their journey for Apex Arena Season 1 has not been ended yet, and they will fight hard this weekend for the champion. So yeah, but after this weekend, the next week, we will have start a new season after the next major update on November 21st. So after that major update, we will have Asian Call available, and starting from that Saturday, which is going to be November 23rd, we will have Apex Arena Season 2 available. So as you said, as you guys, like most of you guys already know, summon strategy is going to be removed from this game, just because you will not be able to do turn manipulation. The summoned units will need to move immediately after the unit who summoned them. So you will not be able to do summon strategy anymore. But for the first week in Apex Arena Season 2, summon strategy is still going to be very relevant and actually still going to be very strong. So that is just something that needs to you need to know a little bit. So for this Apex Arena Season 1, I have to say sorry because I lost my battle to Zelda M. I made a lot of terrible mistakes in that battle, so I was definitely not in my good condition when I fight with Zelda M. And Zelda M didn't make a mistake, and he played it very carefully, and he won the battle. So yeah, that's a very reasonable win for him, and yeah, I'm just sorry about all the gold that you guys lost, but I still feel very, very happy that I got a lot of support from you guys, because even before the battle, as I said, Zelda M is a very big whale. His whale power is actually much bigger than me, so his units, most of his units is even bigger. So it is very hard for me to battle against him in the first place. So I said we probably have like equal chance to win. I still think that's true because I really made a ton of mistake on my battle. So I mean, but there is not going to be a second time that I can redo this. So that's just happened, and I lost to Zelda M. But again, I'm very happy that a lot of players supported me. And yeah, although I feel sorry that you guys lost the gold, but I still very thankful for all the support that I get from you guys. So hopefully with that, I can be better in Season 2 of Apex Arena. So that's it. And there is actually a lot of things I want to discuss today. So I'm going to start with saying thank you to all of you guys who supported me, who watched my YouTube channel, who like gave me a ticket here, and who just like helped me prepare my Apex Arena. Yeah, especially for all the players in the Discord of the Son of Alsalia, you guys really give me a very wonderful time for the whole season of Apex Arena Season 1. And yeah, that is such a friendly Discord, and I really enjoy talking to each one of you guys in that Discord. But I want to say like my special thanks to like several people, including Sylvan, which is my voice guild leader, and Zenshin, which is the other my guild leader, and yeah. So yeah, because like Zenshin and Sylvan, we played together a lot. We have done a ton of like practice battle, and also people outside my guild, like Strau is one of my best friends that I meet in this game. Yeah, he's just a wonderful guy, and we have a lot in common, and I really enjoy playing every game with him. And yeah, Cool is one of the guy, that is also like very like his talk is very entertaining in the Discord, and he's very strong. We played a lot in World Arena before the Apex Arena state starts. So yeah, I had a lot of good memory with Core, and also X Lucky is my teacher. So both Royally and X Lucky taught me how to play Apex Arena in this global server basically. Yeah, and Xlucky, keeps supporting some of the other player and myself. We did a ton of practice battle as well, and like Manson, yeah, one of my best friend as well, and yeah, like Fairlard, also in the Discord server, Bongage also in the Discord server, yeah, and yeah, Sigfer also in the Zikma, yeah, also, they are all in the Discord server. Yeah, I really, thank all these people here. Yeah, it's like this, like a vacuum cleaner also as well. And yeah, it's just this game is boring without all of you guys, and also Kanaspeki, Zelda M, Lemons, Lumens as well. Yeah, it's just the reason that I feel this Langrisser mobile is so enjoyable is one of the reasons is just because of your guys. Like, if I play this game myself, not having all these friends, I will not feel the joy, in this game. I love to play PvP in this game, but I also, more importantly, I love to play this game with all of your guys. Yeah, after I lost the battle yesterday, I spent some time to review like everything that happens. Like all the efforts that we spent to investigate how to pick and ban. How to counter several like type of strategy, how to improve the box to be better. Like all these are like very very good memories, and yeah, I think they will accompany a lot, even maybe in my life. Yeah, it's just very very amazing, and yeah, I definitely want to say thank you for all these players. But now, my journey of Apex Arena Season 1 is stopped. We're going to stream this semi final and the final battle. But yeah, we have to be ready for the future content, which is going to be Asian Call and Apex Arena Season 2. So for me myself, to prepare Asian Call, there are several characters that I need to finish, including Luna that I need to finish. My Luna is only 4-star, she will be 5-star before the start of Asian Call. So I think 6-star is definitely better, but I think Luna should be fine at 5-star. And then I'm going to farm Tiarius to 6-star as well. So my Tiarius is like halfway to 6-star, but yeah, so Tiarius is very critical unit in Asian Call, so I'm going to farm Tiarius a little bit. And then I'm going to also farm Lamada a little bit for Season 3, and also Lanfond. Lanfond, I probably just build Lanfond at 4-star. Lanfond is very strong in one of the boss, which is Sleipnir, or yeah, something called that. That is a boss where strategy faction is the power up faction. So Lanfond is very strong there. I'm going to try to get Lanfond ready. Even 4-star Lanfond can be good enough. I also need to get ready for my 4-star Leon and 4-star Altmuller. So depends on how it goes. Maybe I will need to farm Leon to 5-star or farm Altmuller to 5-star. Yeah, so you guys can see like I have very low star for the typical characters that people will be valued to get 6-star first, like Cherry, like Lading. Yeah, I don't have 6-star of those characters. This is why I have like very strong PvP characters. So my PvE, my PvE life was not very easy for me. Yeah, so but right now because Asian Call is coming, and you will need the materials that you get from Asian Call to make your character better. So that is actually very very important for a PvP player as well. So I'm going to be prepared for Asian Call, and but some of the SR units are very useful in Asian Call as well. Olivia, this Narm is very very important for Asian Call, and then you can also use Sophia. Sophia is like the one of the healer needed in one of the one of the boss in Asian Call. So and like basically Iris is needed for that Impair and strategy boss, and Chloe is pretty good as well. So yeah, basically I need to get ready for my Altmuller, my Narm, and my Lanfond. Yeah, so this will be my plan. And for Season 2 of Apex Arena, I'm going to farm my Gizalov to 6-star. So Elven is pretty decent in season 2, but Elven is never my style. I just try to be a little bit different from the meme meta. So I would say most of the top player in season 2 is going to use Elven, but I have no plan to use Elven myself. I'm going to focus on Gizalov. I'm going to farm Angelina to 6-star as well. So my original plan is to actually use Angelina even in playoff of season 1, but then they don't have the second wave of the Gate of Fate, so my plan sucks. So in the end, I actually have like around 10 or 20 shards that I still need for Angelina to become 6-star. So that's about the units that I currently have that I need to level them up. I'm not planning to use Joshua anymore, so because Joshua basically counters Luna a little bit, but like he generally sucks in season 2. So you can still use Joshua if you want to focus on time faction, which means you will use Sakura, Joshua, and Leonhardt, and Yusuke and Hiei, these characters. But in other case, if you are not super focused on time faction, Joshua is not a super good choice. And besides that, if we check the box of Apex Arena, so in season 2, I'm going to kick out Varna, I'm going to kick out Lana, because Lana, summon strategy doesn't really work anymore. I'm going to kick out Buran, I'm going to kick out Leonhardt. So Buran and Leonhardt, they will stay in my box at the very beginning. As I said earlier, summon strategy can still be used. So at the very beginning, my box will be something similar to this one, or maybe like depends on how many like Yulia I summoned. Maybe I will keep Yulia in my box and kick out Gizalov. Yeah, but yeah, basically this will still be my box for the Apex Arena at the beginning of season 2. And then like later the season when summon strategy is removed, I'm going to kick out Lana, I'm going to kick out Gizalov, I'm going to kick out Varna, I'm going to kick out Boran, I'm going to kick out Leonhardt. Yeah, no, Schiafonio will stay. And then I'm going to aid, the first character I'm going to aid is basically Yulia, yeah, for sure, Yulia. And then Yusuke will be aided, and then yeah, when Yusuke is aided, I can aid back Gizalov, and then after that, Hiei will be aided. So basically, these 3 spots will likely be Yusuke, Hiei, and Yulia. So that is going to be my main box for the playoffs of Apex Arena Season 2. We will see how it goes. So maybe I will drop Vela as well and aid back Tierras. So, or maybe, some people were doing, like in Chinese server, some people are using 5 healer box, just because, as we discussed in my previous video, stall strategy is going to be very popular in Season 2. And like stall and tank push. And, if you want to do a stall strategy, like a very basic setup is like 2 tank plus ritual plus 2 healer. So this is how you play a stall game. Like nobody is going to kill you forever. So yeah, it is actually very, very popular in Season 2. And I'm going to explain that in a minute why this is going to happen. And yeah, sadly, this kind of strategy favors the Veils. So because the Veils, they will have like 6-star Yusuke, which is very good for tank push team. And they will have 6-star for like Hiei, which is very good to counter, tank push team. Especially, like Yusuke can kill a lot of characters with like moves in 2 turns, like 2 consecutive turns. So Hiei is very, very strong. And Veils will have Hiei at 6-star. And you will, like as a free-to-play players, you will actually not be able to use Hiei for the playoff of Apex Arena Season 2. Just because if you check the timing, which I will talk about it a little bit later, if you check the timing, it is not ready for you. So yeah, so this is pretty much something that I will change for my box in preparation of Apex Arena Season 2. And yeah, something that I want to talk about for the Season 1. This part is actually useful for the like other server players, like SEA server or like Japan server or Korean server. So this is something I want to discuss about is like a few different strategies for Apex Arena Season 1. So this season is already like ending for us. Only 4 players are left for the season 1. But yeah, the generally like season 1 of Apex Arena is actually very interesting. Especially the pick and ban for Apex Arena season 1 is very tricky. So the thing that is very tricky is because in in Apex Arena season 1 you actually have different play styles. So you can do a summon strategy, you can do a rush strategy, you can do stealth strategy, you can do tank push strategy. And then tank push strategy also, it divided to 2 different strategy. One strategy is tank push with single target strategy. The other strategy is tank push with AoE strategy. So the tank push plus single target is more like a Ritual, like Elven, this kind of character in your box. And the tank push plus AoE strategy, the key character is Shelfonio and like Leonhardt. So yeah, those are like very common strategies in season 1. So you actually have a lot of different styles that you can play. And the counter about like between these strategies is like a rush strategy counters summon strategy, and the summon strategy counters tank push strategy, and the stealth strategy kind of counters tank push strategy as well. And yeah, stealth strategy is actually very strong. So in Apex Arena Season 1, you probably want to make sure your enemy is not picking double tanks and 3 healers. So that is actually very hard to deal with, and especially for player 2, if they get like double tank and like 2 healer plus Ritual, that is basically a golden team that is insane. That is very hard for you to deal with. But generally, summon strategy counters a tank push team, and then tank push team counters like a rush strategy, and then rush strategy counters summon strategy. So from the pick and ban, you actually have a very clear idea what's your goal, what's your win condition, and what's your enemy's win condition, and you would actually to pick and ban according to that. So this is like season 1 of Apex Arena, and the thing is like a top player should really be able to play both like all of these different strategies themselves. Like if you are seeing like your enemy is playing a summon strategy, you should always try to rush your enemy. This is basically what Zelda did to me on like second game. He rushed to me, and I was not careful with my positioning, I was not careful with my move, and I lost the battle. So rush strategy counters summon strategy well. And then summon strategy counters tank push strategy. There was one battle, the battle 3, that I was fighting against Agton, and he used a perfect tank push strategy. So he has this tail, Landius, Tiarius. So this is basically the 3 units that if you have them to do a tank push, your win chance is very high. But the thing is that I was using a double summon in that game. So although he had this golden composition, he cannot survive my consecutive AoEs. This is basically how I won the battle. So like summon strategy really counters tank push strategy, and then this kind of like tank push strategy counters rush strategy, because if you have tank push strategy, you probably have a very solid lineup. It is very hard for your enemy to rush you, and then again this rush strategy, yeah, is countered by this tank push, and then tank push is countered by summon, and then stealth strategy is especially very strong, especially as P2. As P1 you do stealth, then your enemy can also stealth with you, so that is going to be a little bit challenging to do stealth strategy as P1. It is possible, but if your enemy is prepared, it is very hard for you to win a stealth strategy as P1. So that is what happened in Apex Arena Season 1. So I very like this style just because the different strategies, different box counters each other. So you really need to investigate a lot on how to play, not just like willpower or like money can purchase a win for you. That's not going to happen. So what happens with that is like, especially in Chinese server, like a lot of people, although you can counter summon strategy well, they hate summon strategy. And most of the people in Chinese server who hate summon strategy are these whales. So what happens with these whales is like, they have a very strong box with all these fancy like characters, like new characters, like Sigma, Lambda, and and also like Claret. Yeah, they have a very strong box. And then they are countered by yeah, like they are trying to do a standard tank push strategy, with like land use, ritual, Listel, like Lamada, this kind of all these kind of like legend characters, very very strong, and then they face this enemy who is using SR units like Liffany, who is using R characters like Anna, and then they are doing turn manipulation on them, and although your units are super boosted, your all characters are 6-star, they can move like 3 units or 4 units in one row, and consequently, and try to attack you. And if you just show the video to a player who never do PvP, this looks like a super cheating. Like, how can you move like 4 units in a row and nuke your enemies? Like, this is bullshit. This is not balanced. Yes, this is what happened in Chinese server. When those top Veil players show this like video to players who never do PvP in their whole life, those players feel like, oh, this is terrible. How can you make this happen? So they agreed that with this Veil, that summon strategy breaks the balance of the game. So is summon strategy really breaks the balance of the game? To be honest, I don't. I use the summon strategy a lot, but I'm never a big fan of summon strategy. I lost my very first Apex Arena battle when Roy Lee was using summon strategy against me, and I learned that from Roy Lee. So I'm never a big fan of summon strategy, but I have to say, summon strategy is very very strong, and if your enemy is not prepared to counter summon strategy, they usually will lose the battle. So this is what happened exactly in Chinese server. These Veils during the pick and ban, they tend to ban characters like Listel, like Leonhardt, like Boren, and they don't care like SR unit Liffany, they don't care about R units like Anna. So what happens is that lots of free-to-play players or low spenders, they are using characters like Lana, like Liffany, like Anna, and they win against Veil, and they win Veil's hard. Like Veils play like 10 game and lose 9 game against the summon strategy. And some of the Veil, they never try to think about how to improve their pick and ban to counter summon strategy. They just really complain a lot about how summon strategy breaks the balance of the game. So to be honest, if I let you pick like 4 summons, if I let you have Basil, Lana, and Liana, and then Gizalov, yeah, that is going to be a hard game for you, right? So the turn manipulation is going to be so hard. But what happens is that you have a full pick and ban system that you can counter this summon strategy easily, and I was countered hard by Zelda M in that case, for example. So summon strategy is not something that is not countered if you have a very good pick and ban. So this is, to me, this is not breaking the balance of a game, but when these Veils are not happy, Zillion Game as a company who try to profit, they cares a lot about this strategy. So they don't want to lose the interest of Veils because they are the spenders. They are they are the players who support this game. So why not make these people angry? So let's just remove summon strategy. This is basically what really happened in Chinese server. And this actually breaks the dream of a lot of like low spender and free-to-play players. These free-to-play players, they spend a lot of resources building their Liffany, building their Anna, and then at the second season only figure that their Liffany and Anna are no longer good. And this is at the mid stage of season 2, which means they already put some of the Asian core materials for these units, and now Zilong is like, we don't allow you to do summon anymore. So that kind of sucks. I don't really like the decision Zilong make. I think it is okay to remove summon strategy, but I think it is better to let the player know before the start of the season, especially before the start of Asian call. So in global server, it is a little bit better because now like our players, most of the players know that summon strategy will be removed in season 2. So a lot of the players, they are not investigating, they are not investing like Liffany or Anna, right? There is no regret that you get summoned for Basil, cause like get summoned for Basil, with like little extra health points, that is always going to be a benefit. And Liana's summon is never a problem, and Gizalov is useful at low star, like 4 star, and his summons can do something as well. So these 3 units is never a waste. The waste is probably comes from Lana, So basically, without summon, Lana is no longer a choice for you in Apex Arena. This is why like Lana is basically kicked out, get kicked from the box of Apex Arena Season 2. And Liffney becomes like basically useless in Season 2, and Anna is no longer the top healer. Anna is actually a very very good healer in Season 1 of Apex Arena, but she is no longer good in Season 2. So Anna got kicked as well. So this is basically what happened and why summon strategy is truly removed. So yeah, again, my personal opinion, summon strategy will not break the balance of the game. It can be prevented, and all the top players in Apex Arena Season 1, they can counter summon strategy. They can play summon strategy themselves, right? Zensin, Lemons, Zelda, they can all play summon strategy, and they know how to counter summon strategy. And also, like for me myself, I have never lost a single game to my enemy when they are using summon strategy. It is actually very very easy to counter. But the point is just, a lot of the player, they never tried, and they never trying to bother how to counter this strategy, and just say it is like not balanced or like lame. Yeah, this is something I don't really understand. I think you probably want to do a little bit more research on that before you making this conclusion. You can always say I don't like the style. For example, I don't like style strategy. But any of the top player, again, they have to use this kind of strategy in order to win a game. So yeah, this is something like to be good in Apex Arena. I think the better way is to always try to like learn and like study. Besides like blaming or saying something that is not very helpful. But anyway, so summon strategy is going to be removed for Apex Arena Season 2. So, along with summon strategy, the other strategy is dead as well. So you guys already know that. Basically, rush strategy is also dead. Why rush strategy is dead? It's just, no one is summoned anyway. So no one is going to summon. So why are you playing rush? Rush strategy is the counter to summon strategy. When summon strategy dies, there is no need to rush. And if you play a rush strategy against a tank push strategy, as long as your enemy is not added, you will never win a game. When you are using rush strategy and your enemy is using tank push strategy, it's just rush never works with a solid tank push strategy. Like for a solid tank push strategy, you have a healer, you usually have another healer or semi healer, and then you have a very solid tank. You have two like aggressive characters, so that is a very standard tank push. Your rush strategy is never going to work against such a solid team composition. So this is what I basically my conclusion for Season 1 of Apex Arena. So for Season 2 of Apex Arena, so to me it is not going to be a very amazing season. This is going to be a transitional season between the Season 1 and Season 3. So during the playoff, the level cap of like hero will actually move from 60 to 70. So for example, during the first round of the playoff, the player level is going to be level 62. And during the final stage of the playoff season for Apex Arena Season 2, the player level is going to be 66. So yeah, in order to be like competitive, you actually need to farm your level pretty fast as well. And yeah, it's just Season 2 is a transitional season where the only meta in Season 2 is a style strategy or tank push strategy. So basically, everyone needs to play one or two tanks in a game, and they have to have like healers and and do one strategy only. So in this case, this is basically a good season for Wales. So just think about it. If you are doing a tank push strategy and your enemy is also doing a tank push strategy, the only difference is probably like you are using a juggler, I'm using Landius. You are using like Luna, I'm using Claret. So yeah, this is the difference. But the objective or the win condition and lose condition are the same for both sides. Usually you have to kill the enemy's tank. So basically, who has better tank, who has better like troops, who has better healers that can heal up every time after your units are damaged, is going to win the battle. So basically, this is why I call like season 2 of Apex Arena always a veil season. So this is what's going to happen in season 2 of Apex Arena. And another note for you to prepare the Apex Arena season 2 is that if you want to use Yulia in playoff, for example, Yulia, her job is to kill tanks, and when she can disable the guard of the tank to kill the other units, so Yulia is very, very strong. So if you want to get Yulia 6-star at the end of season, you have to summon 2 copies of Yulia at least. And Yulia is going to be ready immediately after the next update. Oh, sorry, I said it wrong. You have to have 3 copies of Yulia at least. So and then after Yulia banner, we will have Yu Yu Hakusho collaboration. So in order to use Yusuke at 6-star, you have to summon 4 copies of Yusuke at least. And then if you want to use Hiei at the playoff of Apex Arena, at 6-star, you have to summon 5 copies of Hiei. So this is another another reason of why Apex Arena Season 2 is a veil season. So basically, those characters, Yusuke, Yulia, and Hiei, they are really the top tier characters for Season 2 of Apex Arena. The other top tier characters is is Listeel, which everyone already have Listeel. But yeah, really, like if you want to go very far in Apex Arena Season 2, you need to have a very strong Yulia, you need to have a very strong Yusuke and very strong Hiei. And depends on your box, you may use Omega or not. But yeah, basically, yeah, as I said, if you want to have those characters at 6-star at the playoff stage, you have to have basically 3 copies of Yulia, 4 copies of Yusuke, and 5 copies of Hiei. So this is a very, I would say a very huge challenge for free-to-play players. That's almost impossible. And even for low spenders, that is not very easy to achieve. Remember, Yusuke's banner and Heiei's banner are consecutive banners within a month, so you will only have 1 cycle of Echo of Light to summon both characters, which means in that month, you have to summon 9 copies of SSR, and the rate of getting each SSR is 1%. So think about how many summons you need to prepare for that. So basically, yeah, that's really a veil season. So I think I'm not going to be super successful in Season 2 of Apex Arena. I will still try to jump, I will try to stay, top 16 of Apex Arena, and I will try to, go through the group stage, but I don't think I can go any further after the group stage, because, I'm always a budget player. I really don't have enough resource to have all the characters that I want. For example, if I want to be a champion of Apex Arena Season 1, I probably need to have Claret at 6-star. This is what Royally did, right? But I don't have the resource to do that. So yeah, this is as a budget player, I would say I'm going to try to have 6-star Yulia and Yusuke. But for Hiei, I mean, depends on luck. Maybe I can use him at 5-star, which is not great, but still useful. So, but we will see about that. Yeah, right now I have plenty of summons saved for Yulia. I have over 350 summons. Yeah, I think this is close to 400 summons. Yeah, for Yulia. So we will try and see if we can pull enough Yulia to make sure she is 6-star at the end of the season. So thanks guys for watching. If you have any question about the future coming content, feel free to leave a comment and I will try my best to answer. And yeah, if you enjoy this video, please hit the like button, and please subscribe my channel if you want to see more useful information on the future. So yeah, thanks guys again for watching this video, and yeah, this is all about this video. Peace.